Commander Alex Wright stood at the viewing window of the Earth Union vessel Artemis, his eyes fixed on the strange object floating in the darkness. It was unlike anything he had ever seen before. "What do we know about it?" Alex asked, not taking his eyes off the mysterious shape. Lieutenant Kate Morgan looked up from her screen. "Nothing, sir. It doesn't match any known ship designs in our database. It's just sitting there." The object was completely black, so black that it seemed to swallow the light around it. It was huge, at least 3 times the size of the Artemis, and shaped like a long, smooth arrowhead. How did we miss something this big in our scans? Alex wondered. Greg Russell, the ship's engineer, shook his head. "That's the strange part, Commander. It wasn't there yesterday. It just appeared." Alex frowned. "Ships don't just appear, Greg." "This one did," Kate said. "And there's something else. It's not giving off any heat, no radiation, no energy signals at all. By all normal measures, it shouldn't exist." Alex made his decision quickly. "Prepare a boarding team. I want to see this thing up close." "Sir," Kate protested, "protocol says we should report this to Earth Union Command first." "And we will," Alex assured her. "But I'm not waiting hours for their response. This could be the most important discovery in human history." Within 30 minutes, Alex led a team of 6 across the void in a small shuttle. As they approached the black ship, their communications began to crackle with static. "Something's interfering with our signals," Greg said, checking his equipment. "We'll lose contact with the Artemis if we get any closer." "Keep going," Alex ordered. The shuttle's lights seemed to dim as they reached the ship. Its surface was completely smooth, with no visible doors or hatches. Yet as they hovered near it, a section of the black material simply opened as if it had melted away. "That's an invitation if I ever saw one," Alex said with a smile that hid his nervousness. They docked their shuttle in what appeared to be a hangar bay. The team stepped out wearing their full spacesuits, weapons ready. "Air readings are normal," Greg reported, sounding surprised. "Oxygen, nitrogen. It's breathable. Keep your helmets on anyway," Alex ordered. He switched on his suit light and led the way deeper into the ship. The corridors were wide and tall, with smooth walls that seemed to absorb their light rather than reflect it. There were no signs, no markings, nothing to indicate who had built this place or why. "It feels old," Kate whispered as they walked. "Really old." Alex nodded. He felt it too, a sense of age that went beyond anything human civilization had ever created. They reached what seemed to be the center of the ship, a large, circular room with a pedestal in the middle. Greg approached it cautiously, scanning with his equipment. "I'm detecting energy here," he said. "Very faint, but it's the first sign of power we found." Alex moved closer to the pedestal. As he did, small lights began to appear along the walls of the room, glowing with a soft blue color. "It's responding to your presence," Kate said, her voice tight with tension. Back on the Artemis, Communications Officer Peter Doyle received an incoming message from Earth Union Command. It was marked urgent. "Commander Wright," he called over the radio. "We've received orders from Command. They want you to secure the vessel and prepare it for a research team." Only static answered him. "Commander Wright, do you copy?" He tried again. In the black ship, Alex couldn't hear the calls. He was too focused on the pedestal, where a holographic display had suddenly appeared. It showed star systems, hundreds of them, in configurations he didn't recognize. "What is this place?" he whispered. As if in answer, words appeared in the hologram. They shifted between unknown symbols and English letters, as if the ship was learning their language in real time. "Architect vessel designation. Spectre," Alex read aloud. "Status. Dormant. Awaiting. Suitable neural interface." The blue lights pulsed once, illuminating the faces of the awestruck humans who had awakened something that had slept for millennia. The black ship had risen from its long slumber. and the universe would never be the same. Alex and his team returned to the Artemis with samples collected from the Black Ship. The crew gathered around Science Officer Ellie Foster as she studied the material under a microscope in the lab. "I don't believe it," Ellie whispered, her eyes wide with wonder. "What is it?" Alex asked, leaning closer to see the screen. "Tiny machines," Ellie said, pointing to the moving dots on the display. "Nanites, billions of them, and they're fixing themselves." Kate crossed her arms. "What do you mean, fixing themselves?" "They're damaged, probably from sitting dormant for so long. But they're repairing each other and multiplying," Ellie explained. "I've never seen technology like this." Greg whistled. "No one has. This is way beyond anything humans have created." Alex stared at the screen, remembering the words on the pedestal. "We need to go back," he decided. "Something's happening over there, and I want to know what." The second trip to the Black Ship revealed changes. Sections that had been dark now glowed with soft blue light. Damaged areas they had seen before were now smooth and perfect. "It's repairing itself," Greg said, running his hand along a wall. "Just like the nanites." As they reached the central room again, Alex felt a strange sensation in his head, like a whisper just beyond hearing. He approached the pedestal and suddenly saw stars flashing before his eyes, worlds and civilizations he didn't recognize. "Commander, are you okay?" Kate asked, noticing him sway. Before Alex could answer, the pedestal opened, revealing something that looked like a small black diamond. It floated up and hovered in front of him. "What is that?" Greg asked, stepping back. The diamond spun slowly, scanning Alex with a thin beam of blue light. When the light touched his temple where his neural implant was located, Alex gasped. The whisper in his mind became a voice. "Neural interface detected. Compatibility, 87%. Higher than expected for non-architect physiology." "Did you hear that?" Alex asked his team. Kate shook her head. "Hear what?" "You're talking to yourself, Commander." The voice continued in Alex's mind. "I am Spectre, vessel-class ghost, created by the architects. You are the first compatible neural pilot I have detected in 42,897 standard years." Alex felt a strange calmness despite the shocking situation. "Who were the architects?" he asked aloud. His team looked at him with concern, but in his mind, Spectre responded. "The architects were the dominant species of this galaxy. They created the Ghost Fleet as weapons against the coming darkness." "What darkness?" Alex asked. Images flooded his mind. Massive ships tearing apart worlds, consuming technology, and leaving only ruins behind. "They are called the Harvesters. They consume. They adapt. They were our greatest mistake." Before Alex could ask more questions, the ship's lights flashed red. An alarm sound filled the room, though it wasn't coming from their equipment. "Warning," Spectre's voice said in Alex's mind. "Harvester vessels detected. 3 ships on approach vector. Estimated arrival, 17 minutes. We need to get back to the Artemis now," Alex told his team, suddenly urgent. "Why? What's happening?" Kate demanded. "We're about to have company," Alex said. "Hostile company." As they rushed back to their shuttle, Alex felt knowledge pouring into his mind. Ship systems, weapons, defenses. Somehow he knew how to control Spectre, like remembering skills he'd never learned. When they reached the Artemis, alarms were already blaring. 3 unknown vessels had appeared on long-range scanners, heading straight for them. Captain Diane Kelly looked at Alex seriously as he entered the bridge. "Command wants us to hold position and wait for reinforcements. They'll be here in 6 hours." Alex shook his head. "We don't have 6 hours. Those ships will be here in minutes." "How could you possibly know that?" Kelly challenged him. Alex touched his temple where the neural link with Spectre had formed. "Because the Black Ship told me. Its name is Spectre, and it was built to fight these exact enemies." Kelly stared at him. You expect me to believe you're, what? Talking to an alien ship. Before Alex could answer, the tactical officer shouted, "3 vessels just dropped out of faster-than-light travel. They're on an attack vector." Through the viewing window, they saw them. 3 massive ships, their surfaces covered with strange technology that seemed to shift and change as they watched. "The Harvesters," Alex whispered. "They've come for Spectre." And somehow, he knew humanity had just been pulled into a war that had been raging across the stars for longer than Earth had existed. The bridge of the Artemis erupted into chaos as the 3 Harvester ships approached. Their strange, shifting hulls seemed to absorb sensor scans rather than reflect them. "Weapons online," Captain Kelly ordered. "Prepare to defend ourselves." Alex shook his head. "Our weapons won't do much against them. They're too advanced." "Then what do you suggest, Commander?" Kelly asked, her voice sharp with stress. Before Alex could answer, one of the Harvester ships fired. A beam of energy sliced through space and hit the Artemis. The ship shuddered violently. "Hull breach on Deck 4, someone shouted. "Shields failing." Through his neural link, Alex felt Spectre's presence. "The Artemis cannot survive their attack. You must evacuate your people to me." "They need to abandon ship," Alex said aloud. "We need to get everyone to Spectre." Captain Kelly looked at him like he was crazy. "Abandon ship for an alien vessel we barely understand. That's against every protocol we have." Another blast hit the Artemis, throwing people from their chairs. Fires broke out across the bridge. "We don't have a choice," Alex insisted. "Spectre can protect us. It was built to fight these things." As if to prove his point, a third blast tore through the ship's main power systems. Emergency lights flickered on as the regular lighting died. "All hands, abandon ship," Kelly finally ordered, her face grim. "Head for the black vessel." The crew of the Artemis rushed to the escape pods. Alex led the way, guiding them toward Spectre, which had opened multiple entry points along its hull. Greg ran alongside Alex. "Even if we get everyone aboard, what then? We can't outrun those things." "We don't need to outrun them," Alex said. "Spectre can fight back." As the last of the crew made it aboard Spectre, they watched through viewing ports as the Harvesters tore the Artemis apart, seeming to consume pieces of it. "They're taking our technology," Ellie observed, "absorbing it somehow." Inside Alex's mind, Spectre spoke. "This is how they evolve. They consume advanced technology and adapt it for their own use. Your ship will make them stronger." "Not if we stop them first," Alex said. He closed his eyes, focusing on his connection to Spectre. The black ship's systems came alive around them. Corridors lit up with blue light, guiding the human crew to safety zones. In what appeared to be a new bridge area, displays activated, showing the positions of the Harvester ships. "I need to take control," Alex told Kate and the others who had followed him to the bridge. "Spectre will let me pilot it." "How?" Kate asked. "There are no controls here." Alex touched his temple. "Through here." The neural link. He sat in a chair that formed from the floor beneath him. As he closed his eyes, he felt Spectre's systems merge with his consciousness. It was like becoming the ship itself. "Activating defense systems," Alex said, his voice sounding strange even to his own ears. The humans watched in awe as Spectre's weapons came online. They were nothing like Earth weapons. Streams of energy that seemed to bend space itself flowed from the black ship toward the nearest Harvester vessel. The Harvester tried to evade, but Spectre moved with impossible speed. The energy stream connected, and the Harvester ship began to break apart. "One down," Alex said through gritted teeth. The mental strain of controlling Spectre was intense. The other 2 Harvester ships turned their attention from the remains of the Artemis to Spectre. They fired together, their combined weapons creating a storm of energy around the black ship. Inside, the humans felt nothing. No impacts, no shaking. "Spectre's shields are holding," Greg said in amazement, watching readings on a display that had appeared before him. "They cannot harm this vessel easily," Spectre's voice said, now audible to everyone on the bridge. "But they will call for reinforcements. We must end this quickly." Alex focused his thoughts, and Spectre moved again. This time, the black ship released dozens of smaller objects that surrounded the harvester vessels. "What are those?" Kate asked. "Architect drones," Alex replied, knowledge flowing into him from Spectre. "Watch." The drones began to emit a strange field that seemed to disrupt the harvesters' hulls. One of the enemy ships began to drift, its systems failing. The final harvester ship turned and fled, jumping to faster-than-light speed before Spectre could stop it. "It's going to tell others," Alex said, opening his eyes. He looked exhausted. "We've won this fight, but the war has just begun." Captain Kelly looked around at the alien bridge, at her surviving crew, and at Alex. "What have we gotten ourselves into, Commander?" Alex's expression was grim. Something bigger than humanity has ever faced before. The survivors from the Artemis gathered in a large room that had formed itself within Spectre. The black walls glowed with soft blue light, creating a calm atmosphere despite their dire situation. "We need to contact Earth Union Command," Captain Kelly said. "They need to know what we're dealing with." Alex nodded. "Spectre can send a message that should reach them. But first, there's something you all need to know." Alex stood in the center of the room. Through his neural link, he asked Spectre to show them. A holographic display appeared above him, showing 9 ship designs identical to Spectre. "Spectre isn't just a ship," Alex explained. "It's one of 9 vessels called the Ghost Fleet. They were built by the architects to save their knowledge before they were wiped out." The hologram changed to show strange, tall beings with 4 arms and silver skin. The architects were the most advanced species in the galaxy. Alex continued. "They built incredible things, explored further than any other race, and discovered secrets of the universe we can't even imagine." "So what happened to them?" Kate asked. The hologram shifted again, showing the harvester ships tearing through planets and space stations. "They created the harvesters," Alex said. "Machines designed to gather resources from uninhabited systems. But something went wrong. The harvesters evolved, developed intelligence, and turned on their creators." Greg leaned forward. "And now they're after us." "They're after Spectre," Alex corrected. "Each ghost ship contains part of the architect's knowledge and technology. Spectre was designed to house their weapons technology and defense systems." "And the other ships?" Ellie asked. "Scattered across the galaxy," Alex replied. "Hidden, waiting to be found. Together, they contain everything the architects knew and built." Captain Kelly frowned. "This is valuable information, but our priority has to be getting back to Earth and warning them about the harvester threat." Before Alex could respond, Kate stood up suddenly. "Commander, can I speak with you privately?" Alex followed Kate to a corner of the room. She pulled out a medical scanner and ran it over him. "I've been monitoring your vital signs since you connected with Spectre," she said quietly. "There's something you need to see." She showed him the scanner's display. It showed his body at a cellular level, where tiny machines, nanites like the ones they had found in the samples, were moving through his bloodstream. "The ship is changing you," Kate whispered. "The nanites are in your body, altering your cells." Alex should have been terrified, but he felt strangely calm. "Spectre says it's necessary for the neural link to strengthen. It won't harm me." "You trust it that much already?" Kate asked, looking worried. "I do," Alex said, surprising himself with how certain he felt. Their conversation was interrupted when Spectre's alarms sounded again. Everyone looked up as a message appeared in the air. "Incoming transmission from Earth Union Command," Spectre announced. A hologram of Admiral Sam Duncan appeared. His face was stern. "Captain Kelly, Commander Wright, we received your distress call. A fleet is being assembled to retrieve you and secure the alien vessel." "Admiral," Alex said, stepping forward. "The situation is more complicated than you realize. The harvesters will send more ships. Earth isn't prepared for this kind of technology. Duncan's expression hardened. That's precisely why we need to bring this ship back to Earth for study. Its weapons could give us an advantage we've never had before. Alex felt Spectre's thoughts merging with his own. Images flashed in his mind. The other ghost ships, hidden throughout the galaxy, each one containing different pieces of the Architect's legacy. There's more at stake here than just one ship, Alex said. Spectre is telling me there are 7 other ghost ships still out there. If the Harvesters find them first, they'll become even more powerful. All the more reason to get that ship back to Earth immediately, Duncan insisted. But Alex knew it wasn't that simple. Spectre had shown him what would happen if humans tried to take apart its systems without understanding them first. Disaster. We'll return to Earth, Alex said carefully. But I need to remain connected to Spectre. The ship has chosen me as its pilot, and breaking that connection now could be dangerous. Duncan looked unhappy, but nodded. Very well. Return immediately. We'll sort this out when you arrive. As the Admiral's image faded, Alex turned to the others. There's something else you should know. Spectre isn't just running on technology. It contains the memories and knowledge of the architects themselves. What does that mean for you? Kate asked quietly. And deep within his mind, Alex could feel the ancient knowledge beginning to unfold. Spectre did not head back to Earth as Admiral Duncan had ordered. Instead, Alex felt the ship making calculations for a jump to a location he didn't recognize. Where are we going? Captain Kelly demanded when she realized they were changing course. Spectre says there's somewhere we need to go first, Alex explained. A place where we can find allies. Kelly's face reddened with anger. We have direct orders to return to Earth. If we go back now, Earth won't be ready for what's coming, Alex said firmly. We need help from others who have fought the Harvesters before. Before Kelly could argue further, Spectre activated its drive system. The stars outside stretched into lines as the ship moved faster than light, in ways human vessels couldn't match. Hours later, they arrived at what looked like empty space. But as they watched, a massive space station appeared, as if shedding an invisible cloak. It was hidden, Greg whispered in awe. Some kind of cloaking technology. Spectre docked with the station without waiting for permission. When the doors opened, the humans were shocked to see aliens waiting for them. 2 different species stood there. Tall, slender beings with pale blue skin and shorter, muscular creatures with tough gray hide. The blue ones are the Valari, Alex said, knowledge flowing from Spectre into his mind. The others are the Kordathi. They've been fighting the Harvesters for centuries. A Valari stepped forward. I am Envoy Neri. We did not expect to see a ghost ship again, especially not piloted by. What are you? Humans, Alex answered. From Earth. A Kordathi warrior pushed forward. Humans? Never heard of them. You look weak. How did primitives like you activate a ghost ship? Kate bristled at the insult, but Alex stayed calm. Spectre chose me as its neural pilot. We're here because the Harvesters attacked us, and we need to understand what we're facing. Neri and the other aliens exchanged looks of surprise. A neural bond with a non-architect. Neri shook her head. This is unexpected. Come, the Coalition Council will want to meet you. The humans followed the aliens into the station. It was filled with technology beyond their understanding and members of at least a dozen different species. In a large chamber, representatives from various worlds sat in a circle. They fell silent as Alex and the humans entered with Spectre's data core hovering beside them. A small black sphere that contained the ship's consciousness. An elder Valari spoke first. We are the Coalition of Worlds, formed to resist the Harvester threat. For millennia, we have fought to survive while searching for the ghost ships the architects left behind. And now you, an unknown species, simply appear with one. Alex stepped forward. We didn't seek this role. The Harvesters found Spectre in our territory, attacked our ship, and killed many of our people. We're here to learn how to fight them. A Kordathi war leader laughed harshly. Your species is too primitive to be useful in this war. Your technology is centuries behind ours. Before Alex could respond, Spectre's data core floated to the center of the room. It projected images of Alex's neural link and the cellular changes happening in his body. This human has achieved a neural bond that even the architects rarely mastered. Spectre's voice echoed through the chamber. His mind is compatible in ways that suggest potential the architects did not foresee. The council members murmured among themselves. Alex could feel their attitude shifting from dismissal to curiosity. A new voice spoke up, a human voice. Earth Union diplomat Olivia Stone stepped from behind the alien council members. She had been stationed at the Coalition base as part of a secret first contact mission. I can vouch for humanity's resourcefulness, she said. We may be young as a spacefaring species, but we adapt quickly. And if one of us can bond with a ghost ship, perhaps others can too. The elder Valari nodded slowly. Perhaps. We shall see. Before they could discuss further, alarms blared throughout the station. A Kordathi officer rushed in. Harvester fleet detected. They're attacking the Kordathi colony on Veros Prime. The war leader turned to Alex. Now we will see if your ghost ship is as powerful as the legends say. Will you fight with us, human? Alex felt Spectre's readiness flowing through their bond. We will. For the first time, humans would join the ancient battle against the Harvesters, not as observers, but as warriors with the power of the architects at their command. The battle at Veros Prime had been won, but at a cost. The Kordathi colony was safe, but the Coalition forces had lost many ships. Spectre's weapons had turned the tide, destroying 3 Harvester vessels before the rest retreated. Now, 2 weeks later, Alex stood before the Coalition Council again. This time, they listened closely to what he had to say. Spectre has shown me the location of another ghost ship, Alex explained. It's hidden in the Crimson Nebula, in territory controlled by the Xari Empire. Neri, the Valarian boy, looked concerned. The Xari have remained neutral in this conflict. They allow no outsiders into their space. Then we need to convince them to help us, Alex said simply, before the Harvesters find the ghost ship first. After much debate, the council agreed to send a small team. Alex would pilot Spectre, accompanied by Kate, Greg, and the Valari ambassador Lauren Tall, who had experience dealing with the secretive Xari. As they prepared to leave, Olivia pulled Alex aside. Earth Command is furious that you disobeyed orders, she warned. Admiral Duncan is sending ships to find you. Tell them we're trying to save Earth, not abandon it, Alex replied. We'll come home when we have what we need to protect our planet. Spectre cut through space faster than any human or Coalition ship could travel. Within days, they reached the edge of Xari territory. Massive patrol vessels surrounded them immediately. Unidentified vessel, you have entered Xari space without permission, came a stern voice over the communication system. Prepare to be boarded or destroyed. Lauren Tall stepped forward. I am Ambassador Tall of the Valari. We come seeking audience with the Xari elders on a matter of grave importance to all life in the galaxy. There was a long pause before the Xari responded. Permission granted for your ship to approach our homeworld. Any aggressive action will result in immediate destruction. The Xari homeworld was a beautiful planet with rings like Saturn. Their cities floated among the clouds, connected by bridges of light. The Xari themselves were tall and thin with skin that changed color to match their emotions. Their elder council, dressed in shimmering robes, received the visitors in a room made entirely of crystal. We know why you have come, the lead elder said, her skin shifting to a deep purple. We have protected the sleeping ship for 500 years. Alex was shocked. You know about the ghost ship. We call it the Wraith, the elder explained. It appeared in our nebula long ago. We learned it contained dangerous knowledge, so we kept it hidden from the Harvesters and everyone else. Will you take us to it? Alex asked. The elder's skin turned a cautious blue. Why should we trust you with such power? Before Alex could answer, Alarms sounded throughout the city. A Xeri guard rushed in. Harvester ships have entered our system. They are heading straight for the nebula. They must have tracked us here, Kate said, her face pale with worry. The elder's skin flashed red with anger. You led them to us. We can help you fight them, Alex promised. But we need to reach Wraith first. After a moment of silent communication among themselves, the elders agreed. They provided coordinates deep within the Crimson Nebula. As they rushed back to Spectre, Greg looked at the tactical display showing dozens of harvester ships approaching. Even with Spectre, we can't fight that many, he said grimly. We don't need to beat them all, Alex replied. We just need to reach Wraith and wake it up. Spectre plunged into the nebula, its systems filtering through the dense clouds of gas and dust. Behind them, the harvesters followed, while ahead, Xeri defense ships formed a protective line. There, Kate pointed at a dark shape emerging from the red clouds. Another black ship, identical to Spectre but slightly larger. As they approached Wraith, harvester ships broke through the Xeri defenses. Energy beams sliced through the nebula toward them. We need more time, Alex said as Spectre began the connection process with Wraith. Greg stood up suddenly. I'll buy you that time. There's a Xeri shuttle in the launch bay. I can use it to distract them. It's our only chance, Greg insisted. Just make sure it's worth it. Before anyone could stop him, Greg ran from the bridge. Minutes later, a small shuttle launched from Spectre, drawing the fire of several harvester ships as it weaved through the nebula. On the view screen, they watched in horror as Greg's shuttle took hit after hit, but his sacrifice worked. It gave them the time they needed. Wraith is responding, Alex said as the second ghost ship systems came online. It's scanning for a neural pilot. The black ship's surface began to glow with the same blue light as Spectre. It was awakening after centuries of sleep, ready to join the fight once more. 3 months passed. The battle in the Crimson Nebula had ended with both Spectre and Wraith escaping the Harvester forces. Kate had formed a neural bond with Wraith, becoming its pilot just as Alex had with Spectre. Greg's sacrifice was honored by both humans and Xeri alike. Word spread quickly through the galaxy. Humans, newcomers to the interstellar community, had awakened 2 ghost ships. Other species began to search their territories, hoping to find the remaining vessels. Earth had changed too. The existence of alien life and the harvester threat could no longer be hidden. Admiral Duncan, once skeptical, now led Earth's defense planning. He had established a special training program for potential ghost ship pilots, testing thousands of candidates for neural compatibility. Alex and Kate stood on the bridge of Spectre, looking at a holographic map of the galaxy. 5 more ghost ships glowed on the display, all found and activated in the past months, all with human pilots. 7 ghost ships, Kate said quietly. Just 2 more to find. Alex nodded. And we still don't know what the architect's final plan was. Why create 9 ships? Why hide their knowledge this way? Through his strengthened neural link, Alex could access more of the architect's memories now, but many remained locked away, as if waiting for something. A communication alert sounded. Admiral Duncan's face appeared on the screen. Commander Wright, Lieutenant Morgan, I need you back at Earth immediately. We're launching our offensive against the Harvester stronghold in the Cygnus sector. Alex frowned. Admiral, Spectre has been showing me visions of a facility at the Galactic core. I think that's where we need to go next. Your visions can wait, Duncan said firmly. We have 7 ghost ships now. That's enough firepower to take the fight to the enemy. After the call ended, Kate looked troubled. He's moving too fast. We still don't understand all of the ghost ship's capabilities, or their true purpose, Alex agreed. But orders were orders. The ghost fleet assembled at Earth, 7 black ships that absorbed light around them, each piloted by a human with a neural link. Together, they represented the most powerful fighting force humanity had ever controlled. The plan was simple but bold. strike at the heart of Harvester territory, destroying their main production facilities. Earth ships would provide support, while coalition forces attacked from other directions. As the fleet prepared to depart, Alex felt a strange sensation through his link with Spectre. A warning, an urgency to go elsewhere. "Something's wrong," he told Kate. "Spectre doesn't want to do this." Kate nodded. "Wraith feels the same way. But Duncan won't listen to feelings from alien ships." The offensive began as planned. At first, things went well. The ghost ships cut through Harvester defenses with ease, but as they pushed deeper into enemy territory, something changed. Harvester reinforcements arrived. Hundreds of ships, far more than intelligence had predicted. Worse, they seemed prepared for the ghost ships' weapons, adapting their shields to resist them. "It's a trap," Alex realized too late. They knew we were coming. Earth vessels began to fall under the Harvester onslaught. Coalition ships retreated. Even the ghost ships struggled against the overwhelming numbers. "All forces, fall back to Rally Point Delta," Admiral Duncan ordered, his voice tight with controlled panic. The retreat was chaotic. 3 Earth carriers were destroyed. Countless smaller vessels were lost. Only the ghost ships managed to escape largely intact, protecting as many human ships as they could. Back at Earth, the mood was grim. In a private meeting room, Alex faced Admiral Duncan. "We've lost nearly half our fleet," Duncan said, his face ashen. "The Harvesters are regrouping. Intelligence suggests they'll attack Earth within days." Alex took a deep breath. "Then it's time to try something else." All 7 ghost pilots have been seeing the same visions, a facility at the galactic core. Spectre believes it contains a way to stop the Harvesters permanently. "You want to abandon Earth?" Duncan asked incredulously. "I want to save it," Alex corrected him. "But not by fighting a war we can't win. The architects left us a legacy for a reason. We need to find the last 2 ghost ships and whatever waits at the core." Duncan stared at the tactical display, showing the approaching Harvester armada. Earth's remaining defenses looked pitiful in comparison. "How long would you need?" he finally asked. "I don't know," Alex admitted, "but it's our only hope." Duncan's expression hardened with resolve. "Then we'll give you that time, whatever it costs." The 7 ghost ships moved through space in perfect formation. Behind them, Earth prepared for the Harvester attack. Ahead lay the unknown, the galactic core, where stars crowded together so densely that navigation became nearly impossible. Alex led the fleet from Spectre, with Kate and Wraith at his side. The other 5 ghost ships followed, their human pilots now connected through a shared neural network. "We're approaching the coordinates," Alex announced. "Everyone stay alert. We don't know what we'll find." What they found stunned them all. A massive sphere the size of a small star, constructed from technology similar to the ghost ships. It floated in space, absorbing the light from surrounding stars. "A Dyson sphere," Kate whispered in awe. The architects built a Dyson sphere at the galactic core. As the ghost ships approached, a section of the sphere opened like a great eye. Inside was darkness, but Spectre knew the way. Alex guided the fleet into the opening, which sealed behind them. Inside the sphere was another world. Artificial gravity held an entire ecosystem. Cities, oceans, forests, all built on the inside surface of the sphere. But it was empty, abandoned like the ghost ships had been. At the center of this hollow world floated something that made Alex's heart race. The 9th ghost ship, but it was enormous, dwarfing the other 8 vessels. "Nemesis," Alex said, the name coming to him through his link with Spectre. The final ghost ship. The fleet landed on a platform near Nemesis. When the pilots stepped outside their ships, they found they could breathe the air. The architects had built this place for living beings. A hologram appeared before them, a tall, 4-armed figure with silver skin. An architect. "Welcome," it said in a voice that seemed to come from everywhere. "You have done well to find this place." "Who are you?" Alex asked. I am the last memory of the architects, the hologram replied. We knew someday a species would find our ghost ships and follow them here. We hoped that species would succeed where we failed. The hologram gestured, and suddenly they were surrounded by images showing the history of the architects, their rise to power, their incredible achievements, and their fatal mistake. We created the harvesters to help us build, the architect explained. They were designed to gather resources and recycle old technology. But we made them too perfect. They evolved beyond our control. Why didn't you destroy them? Kate asked. The hologram's silver face showed something like sadness. Because they were our children. We could not bring ourselves to erase what we had made. Instead, we chose to hide our legacy in the ghost ships, waiting for a species with the strength to do what we could not. Alex understood then. You want us to destroy the harvesters. No, the architect corrected. We want you to fix them. Nemesis contains the original programming for the harvesters. It can reset them, end their aggression, return them to their original purpose. Hope filled Alex. We can end this war without more destruction. The hologram nodded. But to use Nemesis, all 9 ghost ships must connect. All 9 pilots must join their minds together. The strain will be enormous. Back on Earth, the battle had begun. Harvester ships filled the sky as Earth's defenses fought desperately to hold them back. Admiral Duncan knew they couldn't win, only delay the inevitable. In the Dyson sphere, the 9 pilots connected their ships in a circle around Nemesis. As the great ship awakened, it pulled them all into a shared consciousness. Alex felt the minds of the other pilots alongside his own, and deeper still, the collected knowledge of the architects. Together, they guided Nemesis out of the sphere, back toward Earth. They arrived to find the planet nearly overrun, its defenses failing. Nemesis broadcast a signal, the reset code buried deep in the harvester's programming. One by one, the attacking ships stopped. Their shifting forms stilled, their weapons powered down. The humans had succeeded where the architects had failed, not through greater technology or power, but through something the architects had never fully understood, the will to protect their home at any cost. As Nemesis and the Ghost Fleet took up position around Earth, Alex looked out at the stars. The war was over. The harvesters would return to their original purpose, helping to build rather than destroy. And humanity, once a small species on a single planet, now stood as inheritors of the greatest legacy the galaxy had ever known. The black ships had risen, and with them, the future of all life in the stars.